what I am going to present you in this course is mostly based on the science of positive psychology. And that is why we'll start with the question, what is positive psychology? The definition is that it is a science that revisits the average person with an interest in finding out what works, what is right, and what is improving. It is an approach within psychology that is meant to complement the majority of traditional psychological research that has been done before, which is marked by a focus on clinical settings and a focus on people with mental illnesses. We'll now explore how it is different to what's already out there and why it is needed. First, underlying this new approach is an understanding that happiness is not the negation of unhappiness. Let's look at these two models here, the disease versus the health model, that demonstrates this kind of thinking. Over the last 1.5 decades, it has become very clear that, for example, overcoming depression does not mean that you are happy and flourishing. It takes a different skill set, so to say, to go from -5 to 0, then from 0 to, let's say, +7. The area from -10 to 0 is only half of the story. If we neglect the area from 0 to +10, then we are missing out on much of what makes life most worth living. Positive psychology operates within this health model. It focuses on people's strengths instead of their weaknesses. It focuses on building what is good instead of only overcoming deficiencies. And it tries to find ways to be happier instead of always running away from unhappiness. Please notice that positive psychology does not deny that it's important to study depression and so on. It seeks to complement the focus of traditional psychology. Anger and sadness are important, and there are times in life when we feel unhappy, and that's okay and good. We will come to these topics in a class that's at the end of this course, but for now we focus on the positive side of human life. The second reason why positive psychology is needed is that we have to start learning from the best. Positive psychology, as I just said, looks at the positive side of things, looks at the people who perform best, who are the happiest, the most successful, and so on. Because if we want to know more about what makes life really good, it is not enough to study the average person. Let me give you an example. Marty Seligman, he is one of the pioneers of positive psychology and often referred to as the founding father. Started off his research career studying helplessness. Helplessness is a feeling that we are not in control of what is happening to us, and it's highly correlated with depression. If you feel helpless, if you feel like you can't do anything to improve your life, or that you're just a slave to your circumstances, that's unfortunately a pretty good indicator that you're tending towards depression. So far, so bad. But it turns out that there's a group of people who do not give up, who do not become helpless, even though they are not in control of a situation. There's a group of people who never give up and who won't become depressed, no matter what you do to them. Positive psychology is about studying this group of people, the ones who are doing really well. And then it tries to find out what they do differently and how we all can learn from them. Positive psychology is ultimately concerned with helping people to become the best they are able to become. The third reason is that we need empirical evidence to understand what really works. From this perspective, positive psychology can be contrasted to the self-help movement. The self-help movement is characterized by slogans or book titles like these that you see here. 10 steps on how to be happy, and how to be rich and happy, whatever you want, whenever you want. Or 6 surefire ways to get your smile on. In the self-help movement, you have charismatic speakers and very appealing titles, and of course, very interesting topics. But the problem is that they are very often over-promising and under-delivering. There is no research to question and to prove if it's really working or not. On the other hand, you have academia. It's very rigorous, and you will see these kind of research titles in the references that I provide throughout the course. They are not part of your regular learning experience, but I included them for two reasons. Firstly, because this course is based on scientific research and findings, hence I have to provide proof for what I'm saying. And secondly, because I want to give you, those of you who are really interested in research, a chance to learn more about it. But what this course is all about is finding the middle ground. The middle ground between self-help and science. The main question becomes then, how can we apply this research to help us make long-lasting positive change? This middle ground is also what made positive psychology, back when it was taught at Harvard University a few years ago, the most popular course at the university. And nowadays, organizations, consulting companies, governments and schools, all of these are taking on positive psychology. And the reason why is because it works. Because it really works. As you will see throughout this course, if you take the lessons, if you take the research and apply it to your lives. Here's a quick roundup of this lecture. Positive psychology is the science of what makes life good. It looks at what works, what's right, and what's improving.